These are the things that I'm going to talk about in this video that have genuinely helped me make a difference from being a really antisocial guy with not many friends to genuinely living the best life, making so many good friends who I love being around. And actually, that helped me be more hardworking and productive too. Genuinely, I've spent the last 2 years teaching this on my YouTube channel, and I've learned so much along the process. And I was also trying personally to make good friends 2 years before that. So I have 4 years of experience now. I actually got to this point where I had the fucking awesome, like, dream social life. And it was specifically when the first time I achieved this was after a year of going to Australian boarding school. And this year was fucking horrible for me. I didn't have any mates at school who I fucked with. All of my mates were I became like one of the Chinese kids, you know? No disrespect to Chinese people, but like the people who I went to school with who were Chinese, they did was study and they stayed in the corner and they didn't fucking speak to anybody. And those were the only guys that would hang out with me. And I didn't really like respect them a lot. They weren't very fun to be around. And the people who I really like who I respected a lot, they just didn't want to be friends with me. The guys that were nice and hardworking, yeah, they didn't have any interest in me. So at the end of that year, it was a pretty fucking hard time for me. But I remember I made it back to Hong Kong, and here is when I started to live like really good. I started to have a lot of fun. Because the first day I got back, it surprised me how quickly this happened. Because the first day I got back, was this concert. This is a photo of me at this concert. And there was a lot of people there. And I arrived and I'm talking to people. And for the first few hours, it's like pretty awkward. But by the second day, once I'd been like the first day I'd spent all day speaking to people, and then the second day I'd spent all day speaking to people, and suddenly it was so much easier to be social. I got in this like social flow state, which was 1,000 times more easy to be social than it normally would be. And I fucking met so many people, and for the next month, I met a bunch of girls. I had a great time. There were so many people who were nice to me. I was going to so many fun events. I was loving my life so much, bro. And okay, I'm shameless plug. If you click the link in the description, I do have a product that I sell, but inside of that, there's like the step by step guide that I wrote at the time when I first did this. Like first, there's a written guide and there's a video guide, but the written guide talks about exactly the steps I took to live this great social life. But I ended up having a girl who was like really into me. She knew that I was getting with a bunch of other girls. Or like I wouldn't say getting out. She knew that I was talking to a bunch of other girls. And she still was like happy to be with me. It was obviously something casual because we both knew that I was going to go back to Australia. But on top of that, there was a bunch of girls who were really keen in dating me. There was a bunch of like guys who really respected me. I was invited at pretty much every party. I was getting a lot closer with so many guys. I made a lot of good connections. And then I went back to being locked in, which it was hard. But it's always going to be hard. It was easier this time though compared to the last year of working hard and locking in, after I had this nice social holiday, genuinely, that rejuvenated me like nothing else. No fucking Netflix binge or video games or junk food could ever have rejuvenated me even 50% of how much better I felt after this. It was easier to lock back in when I had already like made mates and been social than when I hadn't had made mates, but my life was also dead. And so I'm gonna move on to the next point for now. But I've been there, and one of the biggest mistakes I made in the period of being social before this. So basically, when I was 16, when I was having this like great of a fucking time, like I was genuinely doing better than pretty much any 16-year-old I could think of. I had one of the most nuts holidays ever. And then this next holiday, sorry, this 2 years before that, the problem was that I was going out and I was speaking to a lot of new people and I was meeting girls, but the first mistake that I made was when I went to this first party. I remember I got there and when I arrived, whenever I would speak to anybody, they would like they would be carrying the whole conversation. They'd be like, "Hey, what's your name? Oh, it's so nice to meet you." And I kind of just like stand there fucking silent, like not saying anything. And that's shit to be around, bro. I just wish I knew. If I was just talking about any old bullshit, that would have been more fun. I remember there was this one time where I was getting really into drinking, and then whenever I would have a conversation with people, I would just talk hella about drinking, And the thing is, yeah, I'm sure that people like lost a bit of respect for me when I did that, but not as much. They didn't lose as much respect for me as when I just stood there saying nothing, being a weird cunt. And also, I ended up meeting the other guys who were also like into drinking at that time. Now, that's an example of like a bad thing that you can go around talking hella about. But like when you're talking honestly, then you're meeting the people who are like genuinely very similar to you, and that's something that's nice. That's how you make good friends. Even if it's dumb shit, like my friend literally quoted a fucking newspaper article and started talking to somebody about it. And that was just an example that popped up in my mind. You can really be saying anything to anybody nowadays. It's just that if you're saying something or not, that's the big difference. You don't always need to be saying something at all times, but you don't want to be at a social event not saying anything at all. Like it's completely fine to be quiet, but it's not fine to like not even try, to not even like bring up a few things. And like momentary silence doesn't matter. It's about like how you are overall over a few hours. Like if over a few hours, you say a few things, then you're good. You're starting a few conversations. Maybe you're a bit quiet, that's still chill. But if you go there and you think that you need to be talking the whole time and then you panic when you get silent, that makes things really awkward for people as well. I remember one massive mistake I made at this time as well was there was this girl who, like, people were like, oh, she's like a 12-y, like, what is she doing here? And I was rude to her for some reason. And I ended up apologizing to her one day because I was being a bit of a fucking cunt, if we were being honest here. And she never forgave me for it. She never was nice to me ever again. Like, she didn't do anything wrong to me, but, like, it's kind of fair. I was a dickhead to her, and, you're not really going to forget that. And the last thing is, you shouldn't really be going for your female friends that much unless it's like, it's easier if you're already having like a good dating life. You're already like meeting a lot of girls, so you understand that area quite well. But when I did it when I was young, when I told this girl that, like, who was my friend, that I liked her, shit burned down pretty fast. And on top of that, bro, why try and make friends with that girl? Like, sorry, why try and like make a move on that girl when she can probably just introduce you to one of her friends, and then you can just like end up. You'll probably have a way higher chance of meeting somebody that you like. And so, yeah, you should be going up and trying to meet new people. And yeah, to be honest, I really regret not like going for more girls when I was younger. When girls would be like really friendly with me and smile at me, I wish I had the confidence to say like, "Oh, we should go like grab a coffee," or "Oh, we should like." I mean, girl, grab a coffee is like an older thing, or like, "Oh, we should go for a walk." And I did do it. When I was doing it, when there was one period when I was this young, when I was also being like confident with girls, and it was fucking great, bro. There was I was blowing my own mind. I was going out and hanging out with these like girls who were way better looking than me. I mean, at this time, I guess I'm not horrible looking, but this is after I got like really skinny, and yeah, no, I wasn't great looking or anything. But obviously, I'd been like getting in the diet and going to like running for a bit at this time in my life. But the thing is, I got to the point where I was punching so fucking far out of my weight class that I was having a great time, and I lost that confidence when I went to my new school. And I think that was a really bad thing, that I lost that confidence and I didn't just keep going because like guys were being mean to me at school. I could have just pushed through it, and I probably still would have had like, a great social experience. Just don't be like this one guy who, you meet a girl and you stay with, there's this one guy I'm thinking about. Even though she's gone with a bunch of other guys, she's split up with him so many times, he just stays with her. That's not what teenage social life is about. Teenage social life is not about getting disrespected and ran over by one girl and coming back to her. It's about getting ran over by one girl and learning from it. I mean, hopefully I don't hope that that will happen to you, but it happens. It's really common that girls do that kind of shit. But I still, even, okay, this is interesting. I stopped talking to a girl I really like lately, and it's still like teenage life technically, like talking to the girls, you're meeting people. And I just wish that I was doing this for longer. Like, I wish I was in the dating scene longer, finding my person. And this was a great, like, even though it hurt so badly, like, I had never felt this way about a girl before, and like, that I can remember. Even though it was fucking like a shit experience to have to stop talking with her, and we don't live in the same place, I was still happy that I got to feel like that great connection while I was there. I was happy I got to experience that up, because before it was just a blank, like always feeling low. But at least when, I was talking to girls and I was going out of the house and meeting new people, at least there was highs and lows. At least it was like a high and then a low. But when I was at school and I was having that bad time, it was always a low. And yeah, I was productive and I was improving on my goals, but I guarantee you I could have done that. Like when you go on a night out with your friends, if you go to a party, you can just drink like, the healthier versions of the drinks, like tequila instead of drinking loads of beers. And you can like still count your calories and you can still wake up early and go to bed early the next day and not fuck yourself up. You genuinely can make space to be social and it won't damage your life that badly once you you obviously need to get hard working for a little while and then you can start like implementing it back in your life, which is what I'm doing as well right now. Like right now I'm taking 2 weeks off like going out at like pretty much at all and like managing my my good habits, getting all that back because I've just been pushing way too hard on the going out and not being productive for too long now. And so yeah, I don't really know how I've ended up at this point of where I'm speaking. This is like kind of a rant, but like where I'm at right now. But I'm telling you, bro, being social at a young age is an amazing feeling. You might not even have a clue where to start. I mean, this is a photo of me. How good of a photo is this, by the way? The boys, some of you boys who I fucking love hanging out with. You can tell one of those dickheads is up on their fucking tippy toes. You see that fourth guy? Fucking cunt. Honestly. Anyways, the point that I'm making here, I remember, I wished I had a friend group like this. I got this friend group 4 years after, like, 4 years after trying to get a friend group like this, did I actually get it. And that all started when I was younger. I was about 14. And, I've gone through a lot of different friend groups, a lot of different friends, but nothing is quite the same as like these boys. And I never got something like that until I had to make the hard decision to say to my old friends, like, no, I can't be in this friend group anymore. And only once I left the friend group, then did more opportunities open up. Then did I stop hanging out with them, so I got lonely, so I wanted to hang out with more people. You got to want something for a bit, and it took a bit, but then it blew up. My social life changed. I started like getting these crazy opportunities to meet so many girls. It was so much fun, bro. I fucking love that time of my life. Even though I was awkward and I wasn't necessarily that guy, I had such a good time, and I felt like I was part of a group back then, and it was great, bro. Honestly, I'm probably hyping it up a tiny bit in my mind. Probably wasn't as good as I think, but like overall, when I wasn't getting grounded from my parents, it was pretty fucking sick. The last thing that I wanted to say was, here, wait. Oh, sorry, I have another slide. I'm trying to figure out what I meant to say here. Oh, the thing is, 6 months before I got invited to this really big party, there was not much going on. It was like maybe here on the weekend I would hang out with this friend, or this friend one day would like set up like a movie group with some girls to go hang out with, and we were doing all these things, and we were becoming more social. We were having a better like time, but then I remember nothing really big happened until one day I saw that this girl had a party and I knew a friend who knew that girl. And then that was my lucky day when I asked for the invite. And then all of a sudden I got invited in like this massive group and I was going out with them for hella. And that really changed my life. But yeah, yeah, that's my main point. The last thing that I would have to say is I did all of this, got to the point where I was in Australia, and I again thought it was impossible to make good friends there. But then I did it anyways. Even like I remember waking up one morning after not believing I could make friends in Australia because I became so insecure from what people were saying to me at my boarding school. And I had been at like some parties and I'd been like making these good friends. And the night before I was with this guy and these two girls, like having a great time till late at night. And I woke up the next day and I was like, holy shit, it was possible. Like I did it. I didn't think it was possible until I'd literally done it. So don't worry if you don't believe it's possible. That's just part of the process, bro. You're not gonna believe it until it happens with some things that are like so far, like with really big things, like being super popular after being really like awkward or like quiet for a long time. That is the most nuts like mind fuck ever. Like you don't even realize who you are for a bit. And yeah, the last thing that I have to say, do the hard step, bro. Do the hard step. I mean, stop looking here, bro. Just message somebody. Like the thing is, right? You really don't want to doubt yourself too much. Yeah, I get it. You don't think that you're gonna be able to make good friends. All of this stuff goes through your mind. But what I'm saying to you is, if you reached out your phone and you messaged a few people you used to be friends with, you'd be surprised at how many people would be like actually really keen to see you, to hang out with you. I promise you, it will change your life. The things that you put off the most are the things that you need to do the most. Even me, like maybe, yeah, I don't have any struggles socially. Like, let's be fucking honest here. Maybe my dating life isn't the fucking. And it's not bad, actually. No, no, I wouldn't say that at all. Like, my dating life is pretty fucking solid. I'm like meeting good girls and all that. And on my fucking social life, like making friends and connections is fucking doing amazing. But my boxing, it was slacking a little. I wasn't going that much. I was like boxing once or twice because I was training with a coach, but I was scared to commit to like a gym. But the last week that I've been going, I felt so much better this week. This was like a fucking amazing week. Just because it was me doing what I loved, even though it was exhausting and I felt fucking tired and kind of shitty throughout the day because I was so exhausted. It really, like, I'm starting to feel so much better, and it's like it's been a great week, and it really helped me through like this thing that I was going through lately that I was struggling with. So I'm telling you, bro, do the thing that you find the hardest, that you don't want to do the most, because those are the things that will give the biggest impact. And it might be the gym for you. If you don't go to the gym, it probably is the gym. And if you don't have friends, it probably is friends. But once, it's kind of like some things are more of like grandiose. Like, for example, you're gonna have this one thing that's really hard to do now, which might be to be really social and make friends. And then the next layer might be, oh, you really need to get in the gym. And then the next layer might be good, really good grades. Then the next layer might be YouTube channel. But when you keep doing like the hard step, you keep living a better and better life, and you start becoming more and more proud of yourself. So thank you for watching this video, bro. And if you want, I have genuinely helped so many people personally. You can see the, like, if you click the link in the description, there's proof of this. I have helped a lot of people improve their social life, build their dream friend group, and I can help you do that as well if you click the link in the description. Subscribe if you just want to watch like the free information, free videos. Have a great day, bro. Take care of yourself.